Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Black Butterfly Podcast. I am Amaru.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Butterfly Podcast. I'm the host, Candace, and you are now in the cocoon room.
We just wanted to give a quick recap of what happened yesterday, and so uh, we understand everybody couldn't have made it, right? And so before we even dive into all of that, we just want to, before we get started, just want to say thanks to everybody who donated, whether it was money, supplies, or donated their time yesterday. Your contributions did not go unnoticed. This was a uh, process that was literally thrown together, so to speak, within the last 5 weeks. We kind of spearheaded it. I wouldn't say thrown together, but we spearheaded it 5 weeks because of uh, our schedules is always crazy, and so we was trying to pick the right time to do this. We usually
Yes, I wouldn't say throwing together. We always do our best work when we put our minds together. Well, we would just say in a short span of time.
Yes, very short span of time. And I got a question yesterday about it to say, hey, why didn't we aim towards the end of the beginning of the school year? That was the problem because of scheduling and people work schedules and stuff like that. And so we wanted to make sure that everything was clear. Obviously, we had the holiday that came up, so we knew people were busy and probably recovering from the holiday, right? And so that was why we chose the date yesterday. Um, so my thoughts are, I love yesterday. It's only getting bigger. Um, People are asking questions, inquiring. We're getting major love from the city in different spaces, and so again, our team. You know who our team is, right? Unofficially and officially, right? And so, shout out to all of them guys. Mickey, Ash. He was doing something really important, so he literally hit me right the day of. Kenny Man, he got some stuff going on, so there's always love. Joey, he has some stuff going on, it's always love. Antoine, the fire, obviously Kevin Benford, I think is his last name Benford, with the firefighter. Go ahead.
He's on our page, so yes.
Yes. The gratitude is extensive, and so even the donations that were coming in, like Asia and Jackie, who showed up with her husband Mario. Shout out to Mario, and Tisha, who came yesterday, and Dante Cannon, and Juan on our team, and it was just cool to see. Eddie, I'm sorry, Eddie Lowe. Obviously, he came through and just came through with help. It was just other people's joys. People traveling from Indianapolis all the way to come be a part of it. Brother Tyron, who has his own podcast, right? But he wanted to be a part of what was happening yesterday. So shout out to everybody. Then those that were trying to get there that couldn't. Like Elise, she was just like, hey, I got some stuff going on. I'm trying to make it. And so I appreciate that because it's showing the willingness to be a part of something big. And so just shout out to everybody who tried to be a part of it and who also was a part of it. But go ahead.
I also want to give a huge shout out to my family, because if it were not for them, some of these things we wouldn't have been able to pull off. My mother is the shopper for a lot of the food and things like that we have. My father is the man on the grill, obviously. So my sisters always chip in and kind of help me stuff backpacks, and I help my mom prepare the food. Collect some of the supplies. I don't know if you guys realize, but to throw an event like this, it's a huge thing, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and you definitely have to have a team. A lot of it I do myself with the collecting of the materials that we use, but we also want to make sure that we thank all of our sponsors. I had a lot of sponsors from Indianapolis who doesn't even live in Gary, have never even been to Gary, but they see the vision and where we're trying to head to. So they actually gave a lot of the book supplies, a lot lot of the backpacks and different things like this, different things like that. I'm glad we were able to pull it off. We did receive a lot of donations. They did not equal up to what we received last year, but our turnout was actually bigger and we had more sponsors. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful to everybody who kind of pitched in and helped to continue to see our vision come true. So thank
You can
everyone.
go ahead because I'm sharing video footage and pictures, but go ahead.
Okay, so here are some people. We had one of the barbers that works in my office suite in Indianapolis, DeMarcus. He and his wife contributed and gave some donations. Another guy actually gave a lot of those great backpacks, those HP backpacks with our logos on them. He gave them out. One of my old colleagues that I used to work with in a therapeutic space, she gave us backpacks and school supplies. So just very grateful. As Amaru said, one of my really good friends from Indianapolis, Joy, her and her son drove down to actually help. My sisters helped clean. One of my sisters, she said, I got some appointments, but she still came, helped for a little bit, left, went to her appointment and came back. And then my oldest sister, Shalon, Crystal left and came back, but Shalon was there the whole time. I told one of the young boys, they said, I said, come on, food is ready, it's prepared, you guys can start eating. And he went to the table and my sister was like, no, I'm not ready yet. She has to have everything a certain way before she serves food. And he came back and he says, she says the food's not ready. I said, well, you always have that one person in the family that likes to turn up. That is her. But I said, just give her a couple minutes, they'll be ready. But we had a good time. The firefighters, is it 359? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, 359. Yes.
359. They came out. They showed up and showed out. They brought two of the fire trucks. They brought chainsaws and things like that to kind of help to cut the trees down. They didn't just bring the engine so the kids could look at them, but they actually got out and helped do the work. And so I'm very appreciative of them. The chief came out and the sergeant and a bunch of the crew members. Even their union rep came out. He was actually, the union rep was the first one on the scene, and then the rest of them came out. I also met a lady. She was so nice. Her name is Jennifer. So Jennifer is the representative of the Aetna Park, and she told me a little bit about her story. She basically said that she's been trying for years to get the park cleaned up, trying to get help and make sure the park is maintained. However, she was not able to do that. So when she found out about the podcast and the community event, she was excited. She came out. She brought T-shirts out. So if you see some of the volunteers are wearing those yellow shirts with black on it. Jennifer donated those shirts for the cleanup crew. And then if you see the white shirts with everyone else, those are the black butterfly shirts with the podcast logo on it. And so this is if you see the Apple computer, Amaru donated it to the podcast himself. And there was a lucky young man who actually won the raffle. I'm so proud of him. A special shout out to Eddie Lowe. Eddie called some young men, I think the night before, and say, hey, guys, come out and help us out with this community cleanup. He said, Candace is going to look out for you. I promise. She gives out gift cards and different things like that. So we had 5 young men. I think one of them was out of school, but the other 4 are currently in school. I think 3 of them went to West Side and another one, I think he said Maryville, but just manners, just very mannerable, very humble. They came out, they got straight to work. They wasn't crying about how hot it was or any of those things. Didn't even have to ask them. They said, what do you need us to do? Pointed them to the direction and they just went straight to it. So this picture here is Crystal, my sister, and Ron Brewer. Ron Brewer is one of the city councilmen of Gary. And so if anybody knows anything about my sister, she always gives people a hard time. She tells Ron, hey, you show up just in time because all the work is done. So I thought that was very funny. He said, no, I came to work. I have my work clothes on, you see. And so that's just me and Ryan getting a picture together. But I'm excited that he actually did come out and see the work that we're trying to do. Another one of the new elects, her name is Laura. Laura is going to be over, I think, all of the parks. So we made some contacts with her and some networking. This young man you see on the screen prior, that is Dante Cannon. We went to school with him, so I'm thankful to him for coming out and also helping us. You see the backdrop in the back, that's Juan. He's a barber that we for 2 years he's come out and helped help us with the young men and getting their haircuts doing the podcast. And then you see some of our crew members. I actually had some mugs made up for some of the volunteers, and I gave them out. I didn't know that everyone else would want one, so we were raffling off some things and passing some things out. So now I am tagged with going to get some more things made so that I can give them out to the rest of our volunteers.
Yeah, this was pretty cool. And so shout out also to the 219. I don't want to pronounce it incorrectly.
I think it's the Wranglers, Jeep Wranglers.
The Jeep Wranglers.
I believe so.
They just came. It was cool because I think the two presidents came. It was a female and a male, and so that was just dope. Like it was so many people here yesterday. I just was blown away. Shout out again to Juan doing this thing. Now he got a banner up, so now he think it's actually his barber shop. You know what I'm saying, right there. But that's cool. You know what I'm saying. But that's what it's about: getting in and just adding value. You know, and getting it where you fit in. And so, you know, we couldn't have done this without him. And also my man Mick, he out here thinking he lumberjack Jim. He out here carrying whole trees and stuff. But, you know, it's cool because he was in there putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I love that brother because, you know, it's about work. You know, he don't do too much. Like, he don't like doing a lot of talk. He like getting to work. And so I love this picture because that's what it's about. You know, getting put the ground and getting busy. Go ahead.
I pulled up yesterday with my dad. We had the truck loaded down, the grill and everything. And so Amaru's out there. I see Mick out there, Eddie and Marcus. I said, okay, these are the real men. They're out here early. They're ready to work. The event didn't start till 10 o'clock, but a lot of them were already out there working. They had the coolers already iced up with the drinks in it. So I'm like, they are serious about what we're trying to do. So I'm so grateful to them. Eddie had his hair all braided up. I'm like, he come out here with the braids. He still look nice when he coming to work.
Well, he was working though.
He was. He did a good job. I forget what did the guy say? You come out here with white sneakers on. I said, I do. I said, but listen. I said, even though they look brand new and they're white, I said, I ride my motorcycle with these on. So I'll come to work, you know.
This picture, I love these pictures because, again, and it was funny. So I reached out to this guy maybe Sunday night, Kevin Bedford. Just shout out to him. And so he got right back to me, said, I'll let you know by Wednesday, right? So I wasn't expecting how they were going to come because I'm thinking they're just going to, you know how you people usually do, show up, take pictures, and leave. No, this big white dude pulls up in a car, and he pulls out a chainsaw. He goes, man. I'm like, what's up? Who are you? He was like, I'm a firefighter, man. He said,
he's a union rep.
Yeah, he said, let me know what y'all need me to do. I looked at Mickey. I'm like, go hit them trees over there. Man, they got to chopping them trees down, and then a couple more cars pulled up, other firemen, and then the chief came out with the sergeant. He's like, is it okay to bring the engine? I'm like, absolutely, bring the engines over there for the kids to see. And so these pictures are really cool because they were invested in what we're doing. They believe in what we're doing. It's one thing to be investing in it, but it's another thing to believe in the mission. And so I can't thank them enough because when you're doing stuff like this, it is taxing, it is exhausting. It's stressful because you don't know. There's a lot of unknown. And so for them to be there and to show up the way they did, like it's like they walked in with Superman cape on. And so that's why I said, thank you so much because, again, when you're doing things like this, people want to see, the fruit, especially when money's being spent and, we're doing that type of deal, and just to see you guys on your off day. I'm sure there was a lot of them that was their off day just to pull up the way they did. So shout out to them majorly. We will be working with them extensively going forward because I just love the way they are. And, it wasn't, think about it. You come on your off day, you chopping trees down. That's just enough for me. So shout out to them guys. But go ahead, Candace.
Yeah, some of the ladies that the Jeep Wranglers came out. I hope we have some pictures of them. They came out and they helped as well. So a shout out to them. But here they go. Very grateful to them. They got up there. They worked hard. We did have food for everyone. So after they finished, or in between snack time. So this is Desiree. The boys, some of the boys that I was talking about, they were her children and her children's friends. So I just want to give her a shout out for being a great parent because you can tell how children are raised based off of their behavior. Again, they pulled up, no questions asked. Only thing they said is where you want to say, what do you want us to do? And they literally worked from the time that they got there until the podcast event was over. So again, grateful to those boys. They were so excited about winning the labs, the computer, and also getting the gift cards. And here is Mary. Mary is she does our photographing for the event and does the video. So she does such a good job. She has been with us for 2 years, and so grateful to her as well.
Yeah, she had other commitments, and so shout out to her. Shout out to Marcus and his team, Marcus Brown and his team. Again, he pulled up waters and stuff, and so just coming in to get the work in, and so that's pretty cool to see just everybody pitching in, putting their hands out and putting their hands on in deck, and just being committed to the work, and so shout out to them too. Also, obviously,
real quick, can you pop that picture back up? I want to go ahead and give my dad a praise report. I just want y'all to see how serious my father is about his grill. That's his grill in the back, and this is his trailer. He does not play. He said, "Hey, you guys, are you ready?" And I'm like, "Dad, give us a couple more minutes." He's like, "I want to leave you guys. I want to go and get set up because when they come out, I want the grill to already be fired up and the food to already be ready." So that's part of his trailer that you see back there, and then that's his grill. You'll see him on a couple pictures. I think he has some pictures with the firefighters as well.
But as you see right here, this is what I'm saying. So I don't know if I can get a closer look, but these were just the beginning of the trees that's being chopped down. So when you look behind the court, you couldn't even see the tennis court. They cleared all of that stuff off of them. And so that was just remarkable to see. And then, when you have things like that, and you can see it now in the background behind the court, you couldn't even see behind there before. And so that they did a wonderful job. Shout out to Tyron for being there. He came through and traveled. He said, "I just wanted to come from Nap real quick, and put my 2 hands on deck." And so shout out to him. Antoine couldn't make it because he had other commitments, but he sent money, and so yes, I want to give everybody their love who was a part of this. We only going to be getting bigger and better going forward. Like next year, we had plans to do like a free throw shooting contest and double dutch. We just got a lot of stuff on deck, and so we need everybody input on this and everybody's help on this. And so I want to show this too. Sticker bugs. Okay. And so that's
what I think you like. There's something about you in those sticker bugs. I think that you actually like going in that field and working with the sticker bugs because you did this last year too. I think it's just something with you. You guys have some special connection.
I just want to get my work in. But it was a wonderful day. I think I got some more pictures here. Give me 1 second.
We had tons of pictures. I don't know where those pictures at.
Because Roderick Bell, and he's naming some people right here.
Also, we have to give a shout out to Bruce. Bruce is the guy that came and put the net up on the basketball court. I know Marcus and Eddie partnered with the city to get those new rims and those new courts up. And as soon as they got them up, you have people in the neighborhood that don't do the right thing. They went back out there and kind of like messed the court up and took those nets down. However, Bruce and Eddie and Marcus was very diligent, and Jennifer, about having those things replaced again. So Bruce was actually out there early yesterday morning getting those nets back up. So we just have to continue to be diligent and actually do the work, regardless of people who choose not to make the right choice. We need to make sure that we stay focused. Another thing that we're trying to work on now, there are some playground material that is still out there that is rusted and it's not really safe for the kids out there. So our next goal is to have that stuff removed and actually put out new playground things so the kids can actually go out there and play on those. So if you would like to support, please let us know, because we really want the kids to know that they can enjoy and play safe wherever they live at. So that is our next goal. If you want to be a part of it, DM us, give us a call, inbox us, and we will greatly begin taking those donations so we can get that taken care of. I don't believe that kids should have to go outside of their community to have a safe environment where they feel welcome and where they feel safe.
And so shout out to Princess Alvia. I don't know. I hope that's her name. I'm hoping I pronounce it.
Yes, that's her.
You know who she was. She just pulled up.
She did in her Jeep, looking super fly. Yeah, and she got stung by a bee. So she, even with her being stung, yes, she did. She got stung by a bee, and she still was out there helping and participating. So shout out to her. Thank you. Someone is posting. Marcus, can you tell us who T Treats is? I know we've seen that a couple of times. I'm not actually sure.
That was one of the. I believe he was one of the presidents of the Jeep Wranglers club that was out there. Okay. And then I'm sorry if it was he or she. I apologize, but
It
Roger Bell.
might be. It might have been a female, but no, one of the
Yeah,
presidents. It was a gentleman. I can't think of his name. He came
Roger
out. Okay,
Bell. He
right.
was the other guy.
Bell.
He was the guy,
Okay.
and then I think she was the female. Yes.
Okay.
But then Jennifer also, shout out to her. And that's a compelling thing. Like, it was funny. So when I got out there, it was like around 9, I want to say 9:15. It was a guy walking around, and he, you could tell he probably was part of, I don't want to assume, but you could tell he's probably part of the problem in littering park.
Oh,
Right?
Eddie, no, Eddie and Marcus bust him out. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So we're
Wait. So he left. He was like, he said, "Are you guys?" He's like, "What are you guys doing?" So we cleared the park. He's like, "Are you guys cleaning this park?" I'm like, "Yeah." Right. So he see me setting up. Right. After he leaves, this lady pulls up, and so young, she just got out the car, and she had a box full of stuff, and she was like, "I'm here to clean up." She's like, "What are you doing here?" Well, I'm here to clean up too. So it was coincidental that she came out there just at the same time that we were setting up. So it was meant, right? And that lady was Jennifer. And so shout out to her, because you could tell it pained her to see the park the way it was.
Mhm.
And also, I obviously let her know, like, she ain't got to worry about that anymore, because we're gonna be on deck with this. And so I told her we got her back. And so she expressed many times the passion about that park, because she grew up over there. She she tries to maintain it, but you know how it goes when you got young people doing riffraff and stuff. They're not listening to the elders. And
Maru, just say your cousins when your cousins are out there cutting up.
My cousin ain't from Chicago though.
Your cousins. So yeah, guys, we were out there. I mean, everybody's putting on gloves, getting out the bags, the rakes, and everything. And so I'm seeing the volunteers are just cars, trucks, everybody, pickup trucks pulling up, firefighters, and I'm literally thinking it's a guy walked past. He has on like a black hooded sweatshirt, so I'm thinking it's another volunteer. So I'm excited, right? Literally, he walks, I think, past me, Mickey, Eddie, and Marcus. And Eddie says, "Man, are you really going to walk through here? You're part of the problem. You're not going to help us clean up." He just cuts straight through the park and just keep on going. I said, "Oh, no, that's funny." I thought he was a volunteer, but he probably was just coming to see what was happening. But you have to really be invested in your community and really want to see change. And you're going to have those people who want to really help and see change. And then you're going to have the other people who doesn't, because they are used to living in an environment that is toxic and unhealthy, but they thrive in those environments. But we want to make sure that we get it together for people who actually want to see it look nice.
Yes. And so I'm just, again, sharing some other pictures. It was so many taken. I don't know, want to miss everybody. So this is the ultimate reward right here. Somewhere where our kids can play, where it's clean, you don't have any trash or anything crazy, right? And so we're looking to bless you.
Thank you.
Remove the equipment on the old, where the playground is at, and have somewhere where the young kids can play. And so shout out again.
Do you have a picture of it? Can you pop it up? We can't see the picture.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Let's see.
Oh, and Jennifer says you pop her question up. She said she knew about the cleanup. So correction, she knew about the cleanup, and that's why she was there. Thanks, Jennifer.
Oh, did she? I didn't even know that. I'm so sorry.
No, I talked to her. Okay. Yeah, she was so passionate about talking about that park and wanting to create change. So we are asking Ron Brewer, we actually spoke with him tomorrow, to make sure that we're getting cameras out there in the park with audio and video, so we can actually see who is terrorizing the park and keep on breaking down the course and going into the building and destroying it, because these have to be adults. There's, glass bottles out there, alcohol, they're out there using the park for recreation, and it really is for the kids.
Yes. And when we got there, it was a mess. But again, our people came in droves to support, to make sure that, we wasn't by ourselves. And so I'm just going to share a couple more things. That
is that Joy carrying that? Who's that carrying those branches?
That is Joy. Is that Joy?
Is that Joy?
I don't know. Can't tell. It's kind of blurry.
Yeah, she had all black on. That looks like. Look at my dad. That's my dad, guys. That's my sister. She had to get in there. She could not let him have it all to himself.
Of course, they asked. I don't like doing pictures, but they asked me to be in it. But this is just a little bit of the stuff that. Look at all that trees, all that, all. Look at that.
That is the trees. The firefighters and Mick actually cut down. Those guys were serious with the chainsaw. I was like, you guys mean business.
Yes. And so again, next year when we're doing more things, we want to have more people involved. And so, we have a strong team, and we're also looking to do other things too, like movie night and block cleanups and things like that. And just to be honest, like this is just a precursor to other things in the future. So, we want to be with like-minded people who wants to see the city of Gary come back to life. And so this is just the ground level aspect of that. Yes, you're going to have to get your hands dirty to get to where you want. And so we're willing to do that. And so again, shout out to everybody who was a part of this, whether it was in spirit, through donations, or wanted to be here or not, right? And just being there. And so it was so many people that came, and I'm just grateful that the spirit was right. We had the right vibe. Weather was perfect. And we had music, right? And so we didn't need to get a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And so the music was fine. Haircuts. He cut about 15 hairs yesterday. It's just cool thing to see.
We had about 65. Last year we gave out gift cards and backpacks. We had the food, of course. I think last year we gave out approximately 30, 35 backpacks with and their gift cards, a host of other things. But this year we actually gave out 65 stuffed backpacks. The backpacks were stuffed last year also, but stuffed backpacks. And I know some people ask me in Amaru, why are you guys still giving out backpacks? Because school started in August. Here's the thing. If you know any school teachers know that children run out of school supplies during the school year. They don't just get school backpacks and school supplies in August.
You're Kim
all the way until the end of the school year. So there is always time to give out more school supplies. And a lot of the schools now are asking teachers to fund the supplies out of their own pockets if the parents are not able to afford to send their kids to school with supplies. So we thought it would be a great gesture again to give out those stuffed backpacks so that the kids will have them. Even if they had backpacks in August, if they run out of supplies, they have more. It's always a good time to give kids more than what they already have. Okay.
Shout out to Alex too, because Alex came out. Even though he couldn't stay,
I'm going to talk about Alex. Alex, just know, yes, I have love for you because we went to school together. So Alex is a Wharton alumni. I said, "Are you going to stay?" Well, I would, but I have to go in police for Horseman's cookout and their events. I said, "Oh, that's some shade right there." No shade to Horseman, but we would have rather had our guy come and make sure that he stayed at our event on yesterday. So I would like to, on all honesty, I would like to see more presence with the Gary Police Department on these activities that we're doing, because the firefighters literally got a call 4 or 5 days before the event and they showed up. So again, if the police wants the community to have a good relationship with them and not always have fear, they have to show up, they have to show support, and they have to let people know that they're approachable. So again, Gary, GPD, we would love to see you show up and come and talk to the kids and things like that.
And so I think some of these are the same pictures, but I just wanted to share a little bit more. And that's all I got. Just Mr. Wilson on the grill. Again, we're looking forward to other groups and other people joining it. We want to do something with a bouncing house and all of that. And that's the end game. And for everybody really to understand is that we actually want to have Juneteenth there, right? And so we can't get to that point unless we have some people there on the ground maintaining and surveillance in this area. And so that's the importance of this, right? These are baby steps to get to where we want to go. And so absolutely, this is great. But we want to make sure we get to the ultimate level. And that's to actually go. We don't have to go to Maryville and Sherrville and Crown Point and Hobart to do things when we have a great park right there. And it's huge. That park is huge. But we can't get to that point if we don't keep it maintained and police our own areas. Obviously, having a conversation with Brewer yesterday about, hey, what about surveillance cameras and all of that? That's showing that we are invested and we believe in this. And so we need you guys to keep putting pressure on it. Our team is all there. We already invested. So we ain't got to talk to us about it. We need to talk to these politicians. You guys are paying their salary with your taxes. So why not put pressure on them? And so again, that's why the fire department, I love them brothers, because they didn't even ask no question. What you need me to do? And so those are the people I want to work with. And if we got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing to get where we got to go, so be it. And so that's all I had.
One more thing, a couple more things. You can tell when you are doing something big or you're invested in your community. It is real big for the city councilman to figure out or find out that we are actually having an event and for them to show up. Again, the firefighters, these are your representatives of the area. They are out there doing the work. They get paid by the taxpayer, so you want them to show up to things like that. And once they start to show up, you got them in front of you. That's the time to talk to them, so they know what you're doing in the community. So again, I'm grateful for that. There is someone else that was there. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Whoa, I think her internet probably went out. But again, y'all, again, I can't say it enough. Shout out to everybody. My wife, obviously, shout out to her for allowing me, getting this space. She came out with the little ones for a little bit. And
did you click me out?
No, I didn't even touch. That's why I was like, must have or something. So I'm not the only one with cheap internet issues right now. But no, I'm appreciative to everybody. Shout out from sister-in-law. She's still supporting on YouTube. Dayon, we gonna talk, brother. That's like family right there. Yes, we will connect on the emails and thank you. We got a call from the NWI Urban League today, and so they were impressed with some of the things that we're doing, and so we're just making connections, right? And so we want to make sure we're aligned in everything. Everybody's in the same path, and so if you want to, I don't know if you want to call it a movement or not, but if you want to be a part of the movement, just let us know.
Hey, real quick, can we read some of the comments? I want to share them with you. We have Princess again. She was one of the people who came, one of the ladies who came out to help us. She said, yes, she's basically saying, talk to your representatives because they are also trying to raise property taxes. So if they're raising taxes, we want them to make sure the money that we are paying them, they are investing it back into the communities. Again, I live in Indianapolis. Maru lives in Wisconsin, and even in the surrounding areas around Northwest Indiana, if you go to these different neighborhoods, you can literally see what their tax money is going towards. If you go into some of the schools, high schools look like universities because they're taking that money and they're investing it back into the community. So if you're paying money out, you want the money to be a representation of what things need to look like where you live at. Also, we had a comment from Mr. Fields. Can you put that on the screen for me, please? So Mr. Fields said, I'd love to add your events to our email outs as well as our mentorship calendar. Thank you. We would like that. Just please get in contact with us. Also, I heard Amaru said that the Indiana Urban League did reach out to us about partnering with us. So again, grateful for that. Because of this event, this is the second year, so we'll be doing it annually. We have opened so many doors for partnerships, people that we can actually work with to make change in Gary. So all of our team that is working with us, if you guys want to also be a part of that, you can as well, because we want to have as many people as we can because there is power and strength in numbers.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, it cut off a little bit.
I said there is power and strength in numbers. So the more people that we have that are excited and vested and making a change, that is more people we can bring to the table when we actually talk to the state representatives and the city councilmen and our new mayor-elect. Hopefully that he's on the same side that we're on and he wants to create change as well. And I think we're going to be able to do great things.
One thing I want to use one example real quick before we get off. Because we wanted to make this a quick recap. I'm just explaining to our audience the power of being involved and just the power that you have. So here in Milwaukee, this is what happened. A white developer came into a black neighborhood, right? It's called MLK Drive. It literally reminds me of Lake Street here in Gary, right? And so what ended up happening, when he got proposal for development, he initially said it was going to be a farmers market store.
I believe you told me about that.
Yeah, and so I'm just going to explain the power of the people, right? And so he applied for the loan. They gave him the loan. The city gave him the loan. But what he did was he tried to turn it into a Dollar General, which he absolutely did, right? You can find this on YouTube. This happened like 2013, 2014. And so when I went to the class, they showed this. They were just trying to explain to us the power of the people. And so these black people here were so organized that when he did that, there's basically like, no, you're not going to. When you're doing real estate development, you can't just go to people's areas and develop your own projects. You have to have the approval of the people, right? Your homeowners, business owners, people like that. And so he just said, damn that, I'm gonna develop what I want to develop. Well, them black folks got organized and they picketed him and they protested him up until they made him keep his promise. And so now it's a black farmers market development, right? And so where people shop and get fresh produce, great food there. So I go there. I went there a couple of times, and so it just shows you the power of the people. Yes, you may have people who are politicians, but if you keep applying pressure about the things that you're passionate about, potholes, crime, uh, abandoned houses, the park, right? Littering. It starts with one. And so I am willing to be on that side with you guys, but we have to apply pressure. I'm all the way here in Wisconsin. So, I have a lot going on, right? But I am willing to get in the fight with you guys because I want to see my city back to what it was. My mother used to talk about how beautiful Gary, Indiana was when she was a kid. Chocolate City, right? And think about it, I was born in 80, so I know a lot of you was born 78, 79, 80. We have never seen it that way in our generation, in our lifetime. And so I cringe when I think about that because I'm like, we're like two steps behind what my mother and them had, right? We have to start somewhere. And people that complain about the city, I get really upset because we failed it. Be honest with you, we failed it. Our generation kind of failed it, right? With some of the things that we were doing.
I agree because most of us that graduated and in the 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, some of us are already making six figures or more, and they're financially in a position to create change. Even if we moved away and we don't live here anymore, in the city of Gary, we still have some type of relatives that lives here. And why shouldn't it be beautiful? If you're in a position to help create change, I feel like you should. No one's saying you have to give $1,000, but $5 makes a difference. $10 makes a difference. And I am so grateful to our donors. We had donors that sent $20, some sent $50, some sent $30, some sent $100, some sent $200 or $400. And again, some of these people have never lived in Gary, but they want to see Gary on the uprise. And so I know we, myself and Amaru went to a conference on August 25th, and Amaru's mentor, Kevin, spoke with Dame Dash, and they're partnering together. I think they're going to be doing some
talk
work.
About that. Yes, go ahead. Talk about that. Go ahead. Talk about that.
Okay, so we went to a conference in Wisconsin, and Dame Dash was there speaking with Amaru's mentor. My mother actually went too, and Amaru's sister. It was fantastic. And he basically just gave us some information about how to create generational wealth. We have to get out of the space of entertaining everybody, because there's nothing wrong with like athletes and things like that. But again, more so you see our people focusing more so in the entertainment side of things, and not in the real estate side. And I'm not just talking about housing. I'm talking about, real estate as far as like buildings and large businesses and condos and different things like that, actually getting into that space where you're able to begin to start creating generational wealth. So Kevin Newman, again, which is Amaru mentor, he said, hey guys, I actually just got off the phone with the new mayor-elect of Gary, and we're going to be talking about working on a project, and I would love for you guys to kind of join me on those projects. He said, I see the work that you guys have been doing, what you're putting in. I know that you're invested. Dame Dash is going to be doing some work as well. And so he was like, I think it'll be good for you guys to begin to get in that space. And so these are the things that we're trying to do. The community cleanup event, that was just like the precursor to everything else that we're going to be working on, because we really want to see Gary become beautified. And again, we cannot do this without the help of the people. Okay. So that is just a little snippet of the things that we are actually doing right now.
And so I want to thank everybody. But this thing is rolling full speed ahead. We are looking. Also, shout out to, I forget, the brother who owns the Mosley Motel. He was out there. Shout out to Juan. He was out there.
Also, the guy that had the locks, is that who owns the hotel? Yeah. He was very friendly. Okay.
So he was out there. I had just met the brother a couple weeks earlier. at a workshop in Gary, and so it's just different people that's invested in the revitalization of our city. And so he has, that motel's been his family for years. And so when I told him about the cleanup, he was like, "Let me know when I'm there." Donated and showed up, And then what was cool because he owns a lot of properties, right? He's actually having these conversations about home ownership with other brothers, And so it's about the cleanup, but it's also about adding value and gaining value by having conversations with some people that are on the up and up. And so shout out to him again. I can't say thank you enough to everybody that showed up. But yes, we have a team in place, y'all, and we are moving full speed ahead. Shout out to Janaire for the speaker, right? And so she always shows up. I love her. She's also part of our team. The cool thing about this, there's people who have never lived in Aetna who are invested. So why aren't y'all invested? I'm gonna keep asking y'all that. Why aren't y'all invested? And when stuff start really, when the plane starts leaving, the terminal, it's gonna be going sky high, And so you might, what did Dame say? He said, "I'm first to everything. Don't be last to the party." You don't want to be last to this party, especially it's your city. It's your city. You were born and raised here. You went to high school there. We have experience. This is crazy. When Dane was talking to us, he said, "We in Milwaukee. Remember this?" He said to Milwaukee, he said, "Yeah, y'all." He said, "Milwaukee's a cool city." He said, "But Gary is one too." And the thing he said, "Y'all experiences are different from the rest of the world because, like I've been saying, we've had black principals, lawyers, doctors, dentists, police officers, firemen, politicians, and all of that." He said, "Y'all experiences are unique, and you never see that again." He said, "It's a shame what's been happening to the city, but you have to preserve that." He called it, like I call it, the other Tulsa, right? We have to preserve that. You can't preserve it by not doing anything. You can't. And so we talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma. You came from that. I took my kids to see the Michael Jackson house yesterday. My daughter, she was snapping pictures. She just couldn't believe it. Like how our grandparents lived on the next block. These are historical landmarks. Think about it. It's people pulling up every day from Houston and Oregon just to come visit that little small section of the city and leave. How about we develop this so they can get a good time to really know what Gary, what Gary is about. And so shout out to everybody again. And shout out to Ashley. He had some testing to get done. Glad he passed it. So hooray. We're gonna celebrate. I call him Unc all the time. I love you, Unc. He reached out anyway. But really that's all I had. I want to be quick, want to keep everybody. Sorry the Bears lost. It sucks. But hey, we living high of yesterday. Got our butts kicked too. It is disgusting. You got anything, Candace?
Just real quick again, thank you to all of our volunteers. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Shout out to Joy for actually driving 2 hours to come and help with the community event. Again, we're very appreciative to you all. I think the kids had a good time. Eugene, I really wanted you to show the picture of the young man who actually won the Apple computer. He was so excited. I sent you the pictures. That's okay. We'll actually put some more pictures on our page so that we can actually show different people actually getting the gifts, the gift cards, the backpacks, the parents picking up backpacks. And so you can actually see the people who came out and did some hard work. If you see some of those guys that actually is on the court, those are some of the young men who actually came out to help us clean up the park. So everyone did a good job. Again, thank you guys. We're looking forward to partnering with some of you who have been inboxing us. And also, again, if you're interested in being a part of the cleanup event or anything else that we are doing, just let us know. We would greatly welcome you, and it's greatly appreciated for all of the love and the continued support.
That's all you got. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep, see you in 2 weeks. Peace out.